YouTube, Niner Empire, what is going down? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I want to talk about this Kirk Cousins stuff because earlier today, there was a reporter, an NFL reporter, that sent a tweet out that basically said the 49ers were still looking for a quarterback and that basically Kirk Cousins would be a name to keep an eye out on considering, the familiarity with him and Shanahan. And plus with Minnesota, maybe not retaining him for 2021. But obviously, no matter where Kirk Cousins will end up, if it's with staying with Minnesota or whatnot, there's not going to be a trade of any sort that's going to be able to get done until June 1st. Because if a team waits until June 1st, they can save a lot of money in a trade. So, and that's the same with Matt Ryan and potential other people that are going to be traded. Teams can save a lot of money if they wait to trade the player after June 1st. So, I mean, here's the thing. Kirk Cousins, he's 33 years old. He's coming off a decent season. He didn't have a terrible season. The first two seasons in Minnesota, he put up career numbers, and that was in the outside run scheme the outside running scheme that Gary Kubiak and Mike Shanahan innovated. So what had happened was Gary Kubiak actually retired just after this season, and I don't know if they're going to be implementing the same system next year or whatnot, but it's definitely something to keep an eye out on. And if Minnesota does start fielding offers for Kirk Cousins, expect the 49ers to make a strong push, considering no other coach in the NFL loves a quarterback more than Kirk Cousins loves, or than Kyle Shanahan loves Kirk Cousins, and that's a fact. ESPN's Diana Rossini actually tweeted that out this morning. She basically said, if there's one thing we know, Kyle Shanahan loves Kirk Cousins, and there's not another quarterback in this league he loves more. Look, how much of an upgrade is it really? Probably not much. Kirk Cousins threw for, I think, 35 touchdowns last season and, 13 interceptions or something. I don't know his stats for last season. But either way, Kirk Cousins is a good passer. What Kirk Cousins lacks is consistency, and that's what Jimmy Garoppolo lacks. Jimmy Garoppolo, though, lacks durability before we even talk about his inconsistency. So I think one of the main things that Kirk Cousins has on Jimmy Garoppolo is his durability and his availability, week in and week out during an NFL season. I believe he's only missed one game in his entire NFL career. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's right. He's missed one game since... Actually, I think it was one game since 2000 something. But either way, he's very, very durable. We know that. How much of a better... his pocket presence is awful. Kirk Cousins' pocket presence is terrible. He's an accurate passer to an extent. This is the thing. No matter if the 49ers trade for Kirk Cousins, we're still going to have the worst quarterback in the division. So is that really an upgrade to Jimmy Garoppolo? Now, this is the thing. If the 49ers came, or if the Vikings wanted to do a Kirk Cousins for Jimmy Garoppolo straight up, 110% I'm doing that. But that's not the case. They're not going to do that. No team is high on Jimmy Garoppolo in the NFL. No team is really high on Kirk Cousins in the NFL either, but Kirk Cousins has showed that he can be a very, very, very solid quarterback in the NFL. And his durability is kind of attractive to a lot of teams in the NFL, including the 49ers, and I'm sure including Kyle Shanahan. So, look, it's not that much of an upgrade over Jimmy Garoppolo. Would I welcome the idea? Absolutely, but I would not give up nothing more than probably a second or third round pick for him. And I don't know what Minnesota would be asking for Kirk Cousins, but I wouldn't give up a whole lot considering you technically have a Kirk Cousins already in Jimmy Garoppolo. So the 49ers have made it known that they want to stick with Jimmy Garoppolo and keep rolling with him. And but at the end of the day, I don't know why any 49ers, or why they would try to trick the fan base and to thinking that Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be our franchise or the quarterback for next season, because I just find that bullshit. I think the 49ers have something in mind. They know what they're going to do, but we'll have to find out. I mean, Kyle Shanahan never evaluated the 2017 draft class with Deshaun Watson, with Patrick Mahomes. The list goes on. He never evaluated that draft class because he knew that Kirk Cousins was going to be available the next season. And obviously, the 49ers lost and got outbidded by the Minnesota Vikings. And obviously, Kirk went to Minnesota. So, I mean, look, it's intriguing to talk about. He's not that much of an upgrade over Jimmy Garoppolo. If the price is right, the 49ers should trade for him. But I think if any team in the NFL is going to overpay for Kirk Cousins, it's the 49ers, considering Kyle Shanahan's love and obsession for Kirk Cousins. And they have a really good relationship. Kirk Cousins and Shanahan have a very, very good relationship. But can you guys see Kirk Cousins taking this team to a Super Bowl after the Rams got Stafford, after the Arizona Cardinals got Hopkins and whatnot? I mean, this division is going to be very, very competitive. And no matter if Kirk Cousins is on the 49ers or not, the 49ers will still have the worst quarterback in that division. But I guess in a way, I mean, it doesn't really, I don't know, man. It's intriguing to talk about. But at the same token, you don't want to risk some of your future, picks and whatnot, to get a 33-year-old quarterback that is inconsistent and that struggles in the pocket. I mean, there's a lot of red flags with Kirk Cousins, but there's also good flags, and there's also things that he does better than Jimmy Garoppolo. I think Kirk Cousins throws a way better deep ball than Jimmy Garoppolo. I think he may be a little bit better accurate passer. Kirk Cousins is probably a little bit more mobile as well. But the big thing that separates Jimmy from Kirk Cousins is the durability. Kirk Cousins is way more durable than Jimmy Garoppolo. And that's the biggest red flag for Jimmy. He comes in that New England Patriots trade, tears his ACL, comes back, goes to a Super Bowl. The next following season is out all season with a high ankle sprain. So Jimmy Garoppolo is going to work on his durability. But is it too late to work on it? Who knows? But we'll see. I mean, let me know what you guys think of this Kirk Cousins stuff. Like I said, it's not that much of an upgrade. The one thing the 49ers can do, though, is kind of wait it out and see if Minnesota, starts fielding offers for Kirk Cousins. If they do, the 49ers will be involved in that. I'm going to guarantee you that. But if the Vikings want too much in return, the 49ers should not do it, because technically you're still getting an average type quarterback in Kirk Cousins, and you have that in Jimmy Garoppolo. So if the Vikings call San Francisco and say, hey, Kirk Cousins for Jimmy straight up, you obviously pull the trigger then. Obviously, I mean, everybody would do that, I would think. But if they want Jimmy Garoppolo and like 2 second-round picks or something, no. I think that would be too much for a 33-year-old Kirk Cousins. He's durable. He's a great passer. He's great behind a good offensive line. But the 49ers' offensive line is not that great. And if the 49ers can fill some of those voids in the offensive line, I could see Kirk Cousins being good for the 49ers. But that's even if they trade him. Like I said, all this report came out basically just guessing that the Minnesota Vikings could be dealing Kirk Cousins. And they haven't even came out and said that. Nobody said anything about Kirk Cousins being moved. So, I don't know. But if he does indeed become available, the 49ers will be in on him. So, we'll see what happens. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Like I said, not that much of an upgrade, but if it's for the right cost, I would do it. But you definitely don't want to overpay. And if any team in the NFL is going to overpay for Kirk Cousins, it's going to be the 49ers. Just because of Kyle Shanahan. So, we'll see what happens. I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about it. But I guess time will tell.